I've been trying to work out if I could actually do this, talk to you guys on camera, and I have to say I'm not comfortable with it, but I have been reading some things saying that I should just get over myself and just do it. So I'm here. I guess the next question is do I really have anything to say? I don't know. So I have been changing a lot of the things that I've been doing in the last, I don't know, 12 months. Coronavirus has kind of changed a lot of things. For me, here in Melbourne, we were in lockdown probably for at least something like 5 to 6 months, all up last year. So, going out and taking photos has just not been an option. I just haven't been able to do that. So I've been, trying to work out what to do. So I was doing some food photography, but, seriously, I think I suck at it. So I just didn't want to, I should have kept trying, but my husband started complaining about all the things I was baking, that he was putting on too much weight and that I should stop doing it. So I did. I mean, I still bake, but not as much as I used to. So I'm still not quite sure about this camera thing. And then I sort of got stuck into the bread. So I'm still making lots of sourdough bread. And it's basically all we eat now. So I make all our bread, which, I don't know, I just think is really good. And I've been getting really stuck in the garden, which of course you all know because I've been showing you my garden, and I'm loving it. It's this whole idea of being, more self-sufficient, and maybe not so much self-sufficient, but, trying to be nicer to the planet, trying to make sure that I'm not using as much plastic. I'm really proud of the fact that my rubbish, when it goes out each week, I only have one bag of rubbish for the whole week, and it's not even full now. I mean, part of that, of course, is I'm composting again, and a lot of my compost is going into that, or all the sort of garden waste or food waste from the kitchen. Nearly all of it is composted, and because we're vegetarian, nearly everything can go in there. And then we've got, because I've been doing so much to try and reduce how much plastic I use. It's like I hardly ever use cling film, Glad wrap, whatever. I've been using these things a lot. They're like shower caps. My mum made this one for me because they can be quite expensive to make. So she saw one that I had. She saw the ones I had here when she was down at Christmas and decided, she reckons she could make them. So I'm like, you make them and I'll use them. So this is the first one, the trial, and I used it when I was making bread yesterday and today, and it's been really good. I have lots of them in different sizes, but like Australian dollars to buy the 3 different sizes is about $30. I mean, they last a long time and you can wash them and keep reusing them, but still, $30 is quite expensive for just 3 covers. I mean, I have tried beeswax wraps, and I just, they're difficult to use. You've got to melt them with your hands over containers, and I found those really hard, whereas something like this just pops over the top and you're done. We also had some silicone sort of caps that go over bowls and things, but if the bowl is a little bit wet, they just pop off, and you almost needed 2 people to do them. So if you put something in the fridge and then you took it out to take something out of the bowl and then put it back in the fridge, the top wouldn't go back on it. So they were just frustrating. So far I have found these sort of shower cap type things the best. So I have lots of them. I have, like I said, I have 3 sizes. I use the large ones the most, probably then the smallest ones I use quite a bit for just putting leftovers and stuff in the fridge. And they get washed heaps. They've been through the clothes dryer a few times by accident. Still okay. So my mum took one of them home, one of the big ones, because I was actually trying to stretch it over a really big bowl and it broke. The elastic snapped. So the one she made, which was quite good, because then she asked me what was the largest size bowl I had, and she has made this to fit that bowl. So that actually worked really, really well. So, you know, just trying to do things like that. You know, I think I've already spoken on my blog about the dishcloths that I have. I bought 10 of them, I swap them every day, and I just wash them, and they've been fantastic. So no waste there. And just trying to, you know, do as much as I possibly can, like you know, having very few containers so that I don't lose the lids or I don't lose the bottoms. I mean, unfortunately, getting plastic with containers seems to be just something that happens. So it seems like you've just got to go that way. I'm just having my coffee. What else? I don't know, there's lots of things I've been doing, but the garden has been a big one. Trying to cook everything ourselves, because it concerns me the effect of processed foods on our bodies, and what will that, you know, are we like basically giving ourselves cancer because we're eating all these artificial foods and artificial flavorings and all that kind of thing. So I mean, you can't get rid of processed foods out of your diet completely, but you can do a pretty good job of getting rid of quite a bit. So that's what we've been doing. Also too, you know, a lot of processed foods come with so much packaging. Being vegetarian, the big thing right now, and vegan, is to get like plant-based meat. Oh my God, the packaging that comes with them. Not to mention often the carbon footprint that comes with them, like Beyond Meat, I think it is. Like, it's made in the US, so, you know, it comes here. I don't know how it comes here. I'm assuming it's flown here because, I don't know, how long can they keep it unrefrigerated? Or how long can they keep it refrigerated? I don't really know. Maybe one of you know the answer to that. But it's been an interesting time, and I guess because now that I'm technically retired and not trying to pursue a photography business, it's kind of trying to figure out where my place is in the world right now, and what do I want to do, and what's important to me, and where do I want to go, and things like that. So I've been doing quite a bit of, not soul searching, I wouldn't say that, but I like that I have the time to pursue things like the garden, or, you know, spend six plus months or almost 12 months trying to learn how to make bread. I mean, I still have the odd bad loaf. The last one I made yesterday or the day before. So I'm still trying to work it all out, but yeah, I'm getting there. I still don't know what's wrong with my tomatoes in the front garden. I'm starting to think that a lot of it might be the soil that is planted out there. It's not very good. One of the things I have noticed, and maybe I'll take you out there in a minute and show you, is the dahlias are a great example. That you know, the dahlias that are out the front are really small, whereas the dahlias that I put in the new garden that I set up out the back are massive. They've got so many flowers. They're already flowering. You know, they've got lots of buds, and they're kind of taken over. Whereas so I'm wondering if the soil out the front just needs a lot of work, which also means that the tomatoes out there could be suffering from the same thing. I don't know. But we've had a couple of really hot days, and they've really burned a lot of the tomatoes, so I'm not really sure. If growing, you know, I could stick anything in the ground if it's a flower and I can grow it. But when it comes to growing food, I don't know. I really struggle with it. but I'm determined to stick with it, and I'm determined to keep going. So with that, I'm gonna stop this and I'm gonna head out. I've got some peas I want to plant, some snow peas that I want to plant to climb up the corn that I've got, the very little, the 6 corn plants that I've got. I was reading somewhere that they're a great trellis, so I'm going to try it. And also to put some rock melon or cantaloupe at the bottom, because that apparently is a good way to mulch undercorn. Some Aztec type of planting or something. I wish I had known it when I first planted the corn though. Okay, we'll see you out in the garden. So here we are out in the front. Not much has changed, but I've got all this area which kind of leads up to the road. And it's kind of a bit of a dead space. So I was trying to work out what to do here. I mean, I've got some zinnias and some salvias, some cosmos. I planted my rosemary plant here, and I've got some dahlias here. But I decided that I might try and plant some, what are they? Broccoli and some leeks. We'll see what happens. Be determined yet whether or not they get nicked. We'll see. It's been overcast all morning, and of course when I want to do this the sun comes out, but anyway, here's one of my raspberry plants. I'm not really sure what's happening with these. Like, I've got this one, and if I go up here you can see another one, and this one has grown so much and is looking so good. The leaves are a darker colour. Just looks a much healthier plant. So I'm not really sure what's going on with this one. I'm thinking of moving it maybe. Oh, I'm getting caught up in some weeds. I'm wondering whether the other one there gets more sun, whereas this one doesn't get as much sun because of the carport. I don't know, but yeah, it's a bit confusing. I'm still having trouble with my strawberries. They're getting better. I think I managed to get rid of all the ants and everything. I got some of that diatomaceous or whatever it's called soil, and I sprayed that around, and it seems to have got rid of all the ants and everything. But I'm still wondering whether I've planted everything a little bit too close. I've got all these marigolds. They look so good. The lettuce is going a bit wild. We have so much lettuce right now, which is great. Something's happening to my carrots here. They seem to be getting bitten or eaten, or I'm not really sure. We're not picking them, but I don't know. The strawberries are kind of starting to take over. They've got runners everywhere, and I don't know, I can't help wondering whether I should just turn this whole bed into a strawberry patch. See what happens. I don't know. I did plant some more coriander. We love coriander, and I keep running out. And over here we've eaten all the first lot of, nearly all the beetroot that we first got, but I have now planted some cabbage. Whether or not it'll grow is another thing. Oh, yep, there's the other one. There's another one down there, but it looks like it is not doing so well. My cucumber plants, this is another thing that's really interesting, is like, look at this cucumber plant. I hope you can see it. This gimbal is driving me nuts. You know, it's not as big as you would think. It was sort of growing really, really well. Same with this one here. I mean, it seems to be sort of taking off a bit now, but just remember the size of these when we go into the backyard. So both these plants were, these raised garden beds were filled with supposedly very good soil from the nursery to that was especially for this sort of thing. Now I'm starting to wonder. Still got lots of capsicum. Let's just take a quick look at the tomatoes. So as you can see, the tomatoes have been suffering from the sun. It's the only thing I can think of. Finally got one to go red and it's got rot in it or something. I don't know. I'm not really, although like having said that about all the tomato plants, the cherry tomatoes we have actually been starting to pick and eat, so they're doing really well here. So I'm not really sure about all these other ones, but anyway, the snow peas are not looking good. After that really hot day, we had one that was about, I don't know, it was around 36, 37 degrees the other day, and then yesterday was another 33 days, so I have suffered quite a bit. It rained a little bit yesterday, and it rained a little bit this morning. Not really enough to water the garden, but I think I might wait until tonight to give it a really good water again. So, you know, we've been getting a steady supply of snow peas, not really enough. It's one of those things now I wish I had planted a lot more. But anyway, oh look, here's more marigolds. Okay, let's head out to the back.
It's not a game, it's a rich thing.
So remember those cucumber plants that I was showing you out the back? Out the front? These are the ones that were planted out the back. These were planted a couple of weeks after the ones at the front. They're probably 3 times the size or double the size of the ones that were out the front. But it's interesting that this is my no-dig garden, and this is the garden that I did with just... So as I was saying before, I've got to start this whole thing again because this thing just went spastic. This is a no-dig garden that I did with putting cardboard down and then just putting compost on top, and everything in it has grown so much faster. You know, seeds have come up a lot faster. It's actually been really good. This bit here doesn't really count because this bit here was it had the soil, the organic, really good soil for growing vegetables in underneath, and then I just put a bit of compost on top. And so the seeds been a bit slow coming up, but other seeds I planted like down here, which is all compost, was really good. And you can see the size of the what's it called, cucumber, how fast it's come up. Behind it is some rock melon. It's just been phenomenal. We're growing zucchinis. Don't ask me why. I really don't know. I don't like zucchinis. I don't really like green vegetables. Not many. I don't like green vegetables that you have to cook. But I thought, my kids would like the zucchinis, but they're like, oh, I don't know. I don't know. So we can see over here the dahlias. There's 2 tomato plants here, which, are doing so well. There's another one up on the fence that just grew in the garden, and I just kept it going. So, they're starting to produce fruit. They look healthy. Hopefully these will do better because I think the soil here is much better. You can see the dahlias have just gone wild, whereas the ones out the front are only maybe a foot high. They're not very big. They're only just starting to produce flowers, whereas these ones have been producing for a while. Let's put my hand up and see if I can. And they're, there's buds everywhere. It's been really, really good. So this soil I did a lot of preparation to, and I think out the front, it's one thing that I'm learning is that I need to do a lot more work. Now what else was, this is another one of those no dig garden beds, and in this one it's just all compost, and things have gone wild in it. So I'm thinking that next year, in this space I have here, I'm going to do another raised garden bed, but I'm going to put compost in it. So I'll buy a heap of compost from the nursery and put it all in that, because I'm not sure that the other soil that I bought is really that good. So, and here's my corn. And I'm thinking that I'm going to plant some in my pocket. I've got some rock melon seeds and some snow peas. So I'm going to plant rock melon in the gap in between, so here, and then I'm going to plant a snow pea at the base of each one to let them grow up and grow all over the corn. So we'll see if that does anything. I don't know if I plant corn. I think if I was going to plant corn again, I'd buy a lot more and plant a lot more. I mean, just this little bit is kind of a bit pathetic. I might actually let some of the corn sort of go to seed if I can, and then I'll have the corn seed for next year. We'll see. But you know, like all this stuff here is doing so well. All the lettuce, the radishes have been phenomenal. I can grow radishes apparently. And over here, the beetroot is doing quite well. And the beans, again, it's that soil, so everything seems to be a bit slow in it. The peas are doing quite well. Some of them are doing well, some of them aren't. One of them's actually growing a pea. So these are peas, not snow peas. The my raspberries out here seem to be doing better too. You can see there, I'm hoping there's like a little flower, so I'm hoping these might actually flower and produce some fruit, which is kind of surprising. I was thinking the ones out the front would, but it looks like these ones will. Anyway, I think that's about it for the backyard. It's probably really it for the garden this week. So I've got to show you my dahlias. See, they're so small. Oh, it's a cobweb. Which is a bit, look at the size of this one. It's hardly come up at all. So I know the soil out here is not very good. So that's something I'm going to have to work on. But look at this. I have to show you this one. Look at this, my canna lily, I'm not really sure which one it is, finally flowered after all these years. It has such beautiful leaves. Apparently they need a lot of water, so I've been giving it a lot of water. Oh well. Anyway, that's really the end of it. That's my garden this week, and I'm going to try and do more of this. I'm going to try and be braver and put myself out there. I know I'm not young. I'm not any of those things that YouTubers usually are, but you know, I'm just somebody who's trying to find their place in the world. Bye.